Hi guys, this is gsnhome.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the ASUS ZenFone 5Z, one of the cheapest Snapdragon 845 handsets out there. We've already reviewed the ZenFone 5, this is the ZenFone 5Z, the core flagship from ASUS for the year 2018, priced at around $575, or in some countries a mere $500. This is the handset to have if you're an ASUS fan. Okay, so we love photo. It's an unboxing here at gsnhome.com. I'm going to start off with this envelope, which should be able to hold a case. We also have the metal key to access the slots, and here we have the manuals and what I guess is a transparent case. Let's check it out. Tearing and ripping as we do. Here we go. Transparent case indeed, and also a bit flexible with cutouts for the dual camera and the fingerprint scanner. We proceed further to the start of the unboxing, the ASUS ZenFone 5Z. Okay, so it's powered by AI, dual cameras, a Snapdragon 845 processor, and basically it looks just like the ZenFone 5, but it has a few changes inside, including the CPU, more RAM, and that's basically it. It comes with 4, 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, 64, 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, and this is the charger, which is very hefty and pretty impressive. It promises to juice up the phone fast, and I actually believe it. It juices up a 3300 mAh battery, and completing the list, I have a bunch of headphones, which should be premium ones. Put them here. Bunch of plugs for the headphones, put them here as well, and finally a USB Type-C cable. Voila, that's it. That's everything inside the box. The unboxing is done. Now let's fire up the phone and see what the ASUS ZenFone 5Z it's all about. So if I were to put the 5Z next to the 5, they would be easily confused. They're basically the same as far as I know. So this one has a 6.2 inch Full HD Plus screen, 19:9 aspect, and also the famous notch is right here at the top. Okay, so the setup has started. I'm going to go with next, next again, next, privacy, setup was new, just a sec, it's thinking it through, next, agree. And I have to say, first impression, it's a pretty light phone, only 165 grams, and it measures 7.7 millimeters in thickness, which, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, these measurements are very similar to the Huawei P20 Pro. Don't you believe it? So it's got a 6.2 inch screen right here, Full HD Plus, 19:9. The notch, the ever-present notch, is here. Although I kind of feel it's a bit smaller than on the ZenFone 5Z, ZenFone 5. It may be just my confusion, or it's actually smaller. Remains to be seen once we get to the review. Anyways, this is the first contact with the ASUS ZenFone 5Z. It's got a Super IPS Plus screen, Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 or 8 gigabyte RAM, although there's supposedly a 4 gigabyte RAM version, 64, 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, micro SD card slot, and a 3300 mAh battery. It's got the fingerprint lock, it's got the face recognition, which on the ZenFone 5 was pretty snappy, and the charger is a 9 volt 2 ampere 18 watt one. We're running on Android Audio with Zen UI 5 on top. I got a USB Type-C port at the bottom and also an audio jack next to it. Luckily, it has not been sacrificed. Now, at the back, the story is also familiar. Pretty much the same dual camera from the ZenFone 5, a combo of 12 megapixel and 8 megapixel with LED flash here, optical image stabilization, f1.8 aperture, and a wide angle lens for the secondary camera with 120 degrees. The novelty compared to the mid-range model should be the fact that we can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, at least on paper. In real life remains to be seen. Probably if we go to the settings, we're going to find that out. So here we go, we got 4K. Here we don't exactly see the 60 frames per second, but I'm guessing that an update could fix that, or we can dig here and find out if this is available or not. Okay, so these are some of the options we're playing with. You can alternate between cameras, the main one, wide angle one, which catches a lot more in its sight. We got your bokeh option right here, it's called portrait. We got beautifying features. With a swipe like this, you got the beauty, slow motion, GIF animation, and time lapse. Only a few of the options you can play with here. Now at the front, we got an 8 megapixel shooter for the selfies, and of course, just like the ZenFone 5, there is a lot of AI stuff going on here, courtesy of the CPU and the new software from ASUS. You got 16 scene detection via AI, ringtone AI, battery AI, and more. Plus dual speakers, speaker at the bottom and speaker here for a stereo experience. Zen emoji, basically avatars you can apply to your face when using real-time streaming video. 3 microphones, FM radio, and a fingerprint scanner placed right here close to the cameras. This is basically it. You saw the camera interface, feels pretty familiar if you've seen an ASUS phone lately. Wide angle and regular shot, a bunch of options. I'm pretty sure you can download more, or at least on paper you should. I'm going to check out the phone for a few days, do some benchmarks, test the battery, play a game or two. I'll be back with a full review very soon. In the meantime, an upgraded ZenFone 5 with an excellent price at around $575 for the ASUS ZenFone 5Z. This is it from us. Bye bye.